This is the Star News Brief. I'm Joely Regi. Former US President Barack Obama has fondly narrated his experience when he first visited Kenya as a senator in 2006. In his new book, A Promised Land, Obama writes that, abetted by wall-to-wall coverage by the local press, the Kenyan response to his family's presence was over the top. He describes the reactions in Kibera and his father's ancestral home in Kogalo, where they publicly took a HIV test with his wife Michelle. He adds that they escaped the commotion only when they visited the national park. The book, launched on November 17th, has been a hit globally, selling over 890,000 copies in the first 24 hours within the US and Canada. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing *550*3#. The Building Bridges Initiative reggae has been posed yet again, jolting the unity drive into a deeper wave of uncertainty. President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga on Wednesday put off the launch of the collection of 1 million signatures to back the report. Even so, the process, which would impact the 2022 elections, was already marred by concerns of its timing in the face of the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic. The handshake principles are under pressure to build consensus on the document to avert a contested referendum that would result in yes and no sides. The resource constraint, which has affected all state agencies, has been worsened by the sorry state of the economy. Kenya is technically broke and has heavily relied on borrowings of about 1.15 trillion shillings to survive the pandemic. President Uhuru Kenyatta is angling to steer through the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic in a bid to deliver his big four pet projects. Pressed for time, President Kenyatta's administration has lined up projects tied to the health, food security, manufacturing, and affordable housing pillars. The government seeks to dedicate massive resources to the projects whose funding had been hit by budget cuts following the COVID-19 outbreak. In this regard, the government intends to spend for the next 3 years 1.3 trillion shillings in infrastructure, energy, and ICT projects. Housing and components of manufacturing fall under this sector. The Jubilee administration plans to put 118 billion shillings towards agriculture for the said period and 354 billion shillings towards healthcare. Some 24.5 billion shillings will be spent next financial year in efforts to improve the ease of doing business in the country. A section of Machakos Residents in Machakos has threatened to demonstrate against owners of some high-end apartments for discharging sewage in the neighborhood water bodies. They accuse the administration, environmental agencies, and politicians of turning a blind eye as their health is threatened. The Star investigations show that human waste and sewage are discharged in the open, dams, and streams, which all end up in River Athi, where some people fish and others source irrigation water. The apartments, especially those in Mlolongo and Athi River, discharge raw waste using well-hidden underground pipes and drains to the water bodies. The contaminated water is used to irrigate vegetables and other food items sold to unsuspecting consumers in Mavoko, Nairobi, Kitengela, and Machakos town. The introduction of online classes for minors and learners in institutions of higher learning during COVID-19 has exposed more girls to a high risk of online violence. Further, movement restrictions amid the high ownership of smartphones, tablets, and laptop ownership across the globe is swelling the number of girls who can be targeted, according to a new report by Plan International. Titled The State of the Girl 2020, the report adds that online abuse against girls happened mostly on Facebook at 39%, followed by Instagram at 23%. The new populations coming online also have less awareness of how to spot the imminent dangers. The Star on Friday explores these ongoing online threats to girls. The coronavirus has made it seem like 2020 will never end, but Christmas and New Year are finally around the corner, and many Kenyans are longing for a much-deserved break at the coast. The entry of Madaraka Express train after the completion of the SGR in 2017 brought direct competition to the bus sector, which initially enjoyed near monopoly during the season. While other means of travel exist, the Star narrows down to SGR and buses due to their use by the majority of holiday makers. Which would you rather go for? Many passengers who prefer to use the SGR argue it is because of time and cost. Unlike in the bus sector, the fare is constant all year round. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing *550*3#. You can also get more on the Star website.